So hello guys and welcome back to our YouTube channel. So here we are teaching Python in 10 hours. So this is R4 of our Python class. In a previous class we've learned about loops, that there are two kinds of loop, while loop and for loop, and their syntax and how we use it. As we know that for loop we have range in it. The range is of three kind also. We have teach all this in the previous class. So now in this class we'll learn about functions, that what are functions, how we use function, and what is the benefit of using a function in a Python class. So let's start the fourth hour of our Python. So these are the topics which we will cover today. That what is function syntax, function with parameters, return statement, default argument, keyword argument, local and global variables, lambda function, recursion, which is the most important topic I think, practice question, and then some homework question that we will do. Okay. So firstly we will start with a function. So what is a function? So a function is a reusable block of code that perform a specific task. Okay, and we can simply call it by typing its name. So let's start with this. So firstly let me tell you the use of a function. So just think, you want to add two numbers, like you want to take a input and then you want to add two numbers. That how will you do? Just take a input and then you will like add equals to a plus b, then print add. So it will print your add. But now think, you want to perform this 1,000 of time in your code. Then how will you do this? Will you just add like this, add 1, add 2 and add up to 1,000 and these are the values? No, we make a function for which we just may create our logic in a function, and then after that every time we just have to call a function name add, that add these two number, and that's all. It will give us the result. So this is how we use a function. So function is a block of code that can be reusable to perform a particular task. These are called functions. Okay, so what are the advantages of function? To avoid repetition, as I told you, like I want to add thousands of time, so I just don't use that. We just use a function. To make code clean, yeah. Now how it helped in making a code clean? Because it help us to make a shorter code, like you are adding add 1 2 like this, but now you just have to call a function. That's how it make your code look small and more clean. Easy to debug, as your length of code has been decreased and now there are less parameters. You just have a call a function. That's why the debug time is also reduced and it's easy to debug. Easy to maintain, because you just have to call a function. There's only a function. If you want to edit something, like you have to subtract, now just by mistake you add 1,000 of number and you want to subtract them all. So how now you have to edit it all to the 1,000 of that I want to subtract. But for that, if you have a function, you just have to change the function just only. In thousands of code where you have used that function, the answer of all those has been changed to the subtraction. So that's why it's easy to maintain, easy to debug, and help us to make a clean code. So for syntax, we have define function name, then two parentheses and then a colon, and then we have just pass, because we don't want to make our error, so that's why I just write pass. Okay, now here's example, like define greet, def greet. We have created a function called greet, in which what we have done, that print welcome to Python, and then we just call the function greet. So what will be the output? It will just print welcome to Python. This is how the function works. Okay, now you have seen the function. Now let's start with the calling of a function. So calling of a function means executing the code inside the function, like this is calling a function. Okay, now let's start with the function with parameters. So parameter, what are parameters? So parameter are the empty boxes waiting for values. Okay, these are just a boxes who want a value, who want some data in them. These are the empty value. Okay, empty boxes. Okay, so function with parameter means parameter are the variable written inside a function. So definition that receive value. These are the definitions that receive a value in the functions. Okay, these are the empty boxes. So let's see the define greet name. Here's name is input value. So print hello name. So when you will say greet abhi, so it will print hello abhi. Here it will print hello Rahul. So this name is a parameter. It is an empty box that want a value from the user so that it can be used in our function. Now here's one more example, like define add a and b, and what will we print? A plus b. So now we give the value 10 and 20, so output will be 30. Let's suppose we have said that add 50 plus 80, 50 and 80, because we just give the values. So sorry, so the output will be 130. So this is how it works, and these are the parameters. There are two parameters in it. Okay, now here are name, age and city. There are three parameters: name, age and city, and will print names, age and city. When you give the parameters like detail, name equals to Abhi, age equals to 19 and city equals to Patna, it will simply print Abhi, then in next line 19, and in next line it will print Patna. Okay, this is how our parameter work in our function and help us. Okay, now let me tell you about argument. What are argument? So argument are the actual values passed to the function. Like this Abhi is an argument. Okay, this name is a parameter. Okay, but the Abhi, 19 and the Patna, these three are our arguments. Okay, so what are argument? Argument are the actual values that pass to the function. Okay, so this is the difference between argument and our parameters. Now our return statement. Okay, so return statement is a return keyword send a value back back from the function. Okay, like you just calculated a value and you don't want to print it, so what will you use? You will use a return function. What will you do? ये जो हमारा रिटर्न फंक्शन होता है वो बेसिकली उस वैल्यू को स्टोर कर लेता है फंक्शन में. अब अगर हमें वो वैल्यू चाहिए होती है तो हम सिंपली उसको बाद में बोल देंगे कि प्रिंट करा दो उस वैल्यू को, बट वो हमारा प्रिंट नहीं कराता, वो बस स्टोर कर लेता है. सो डिफरेंस होता है प्रिंट में और रिटर्न में. प्रिंट हमारा वैल्यू प्रिंट करा देता है और रिटर्न हमारा वैल्यू स्टोर करता है. ठीक है, सो लेट्स सी सम एग्जांपल लाइक डिफाइन square of number. So this number is a parameter. Okay, and return number into number. Now result equals to square of 5. So what we call a function square and we give a 5 as an argument. Okay, so now what we'll do, the number become 5, so return number into number, so 25. Now it will store here. If I write print, so it will just print the number, but we just return, so it store this for 25. And when we write print result, so now result be equals to 25 from the function, and now it print 25. Okay, so now it will print 25. Now here's one more question. Define multiply a comma b and return a into b. Now print multiply 4 comma 6. Now this 4 and 6 are the arguments, so they will move here, and 4 6 is 24, so 24 will be saved here, and then we just print it, multiply 4 into 6, so it will be print as 24. Okay, so here's the difference between print and return. That define test1 print 5, so it will just print 5, and here is define test to return 5, so it will just store the store it in our memory, and then when we say that print test2, then it will only print, otherwise it won't. Okay, so this is the difference. Now we have a default argument. So default argument are the value automatically used if no argument is provided. Okay, so define greet name equals to guest and print hello name. So if someone give its name, then okay, otherwise it will say just hello guest. Okay, so greet, so it will print hello guest, and here it will print hello abhi. So it's a difference about the default argument, like define country name place equals to India, print name comma place. Now he gave the abhi, so we, as we know, the default country is India, so it will just print us abhi India, and here it will print, as it gave the country, so it will print Rahul Canada. Okay, now let's move to another are keyword arguments. So argument with passed using parameter names. Okay, let me tell you like what, like define student name and age and print name and age, where student age equals to 19 and name equals to age. This is a one more kind that we can give a argument by simply by using the parameter. So that let's suppose that there is one more column for a numeric value, what we can say roll number, let's say roll number. So if we have to, if we give that 19 abhi 19, so maybe it can be possible that it like we want to give our roll number to 18 and the age is 19, but it gets shuffled. But by using this, like हम पहले ही उसको बता देते हैं कि एज 19 है, हम डायरेक्ट नहीं 19 अभी और 19 या 18 नहीं दे रहे हैं, हम उसको बोल रहे हैं कि एज ही 19 है, तो तुम एज 19 लेके चलो. तो ये हमारा हेल्प करता है मोर क्लियरिफाई करने में हमारे आर्ग्यूमेंट और पैरामीटर्स को, so that we won't make any mistake. Same here, name salary city, so we just take city equals to Delhi, salary equals to this, and name equals to Ram. Okay, now let's see some variables. So variable is a variable created inside a function. Okay, so what are local variables? So local variables are the variables lives only inside a function, like they may like we made inside a function, and they only work inside the function. There is no any relation with the outside the function to main code. Okay, but the global variable is made outside the function, and they can be used either in the function or out of the function. Like we can use global function in our whole code, but the local function can only be used in our function. Local variable can only be used in our function. So this is a difference of local variable and global variable. So here example of local variable, that define demo and x equals to 10. As you can see that we define x inside a function, so we just use it inside a function. If we try to move if we try to write like now print x outside the function, so it like we just say here x equals to 10, something like 10 plus 5, so it will create a new variable. It doesn't mean anything to this one. Okay, they both are different now because it can only be used inside a function, not outside the function. Okay, but a global variable, as we make outside the function, it can be used in the whole code, either in the function or outside the function. As you can see, it's used inside a function, and when we if we even we use it outside, like here x equals to 10, it is also a kind of this, and then we use it inside a function also, so it works. Okay, so this is a difference between our global variable and our local variable. Now global keyword. So global keyword allow us to modify a global variable inside a function. Basically global keyword allow that this x equals to 10 can be edited in the function. This is called global keyword. Okay, but there's one thing you have to see, like as I change x equals to 20, so this x equals to 20 only change in the function. If we try to ask the value outside the function, it will still be 10, but only in the function its value will become 20. Okay, now we have our lambda function. So lambda function is an anonymous one line function. Like we just want to we don't want to use function in 3 to 4 line. We just want to create a single line function, so then we use a lambda function. It is a anonymous one line function. Okay, so what is the syntax of this? So lambda argument and then expression. Let's see from the example that square, it's a function name in which lambda, then this is what the expression mean. Okay, look, add is the function name lambda, and this is what these are the function uh, these are the function parameters, and these are the values for the, like what are the expressions. Okay, now here we give the argument, so it will run. Now same here, this is a function name, then lambda, and then our expression. Okay, so this is a what a lambda function do. It just create a single line function that help us to make a code smaller. Okay, now recursion. It is an important topic, we use it a lot, it is very helpful for us. So recursion is when a function call itself inside its function. Like let me tell you, recursion is when a function call itself until a stopping condition is met. Okay, or we can say that. Okay, now let's see, imagine standing between two mirrors. Okay, your image keeps appear again and again. Okay, similarly a recursive function keeps calling itself again and again. As you can see that in the, if in two mirror, your image can be created infinite of time. That's how our recursion helps, and just call itself again and again until the condition is met. Okay, now let's see, like we have calculated factorial in from loops. Now let's see how we can create a factorial using a recursion. Okay, how? Just define factorial n, where if n equals to 1, return 1, otherwise return n into factorial of n minus 1. Let me tell you what done here. So if n equals to 1, return n, wait, or 0. Yeah, now it's correct. So let's see now. So return n into factorial of n minus 1. So what does that mean? Now let's see, you give the n equals to 5. Okay, now what will happen? The n will check if n equals to 1 or 0, no, so it will move to return n term. So now return n into, so it will just 5 into factorial of n minus 1 means factorial of 4. Now what will it do? Now it check that factorial of 4. Now here the n will become 4. Now it will run that n equals to 4 equals to 1 or 0, no, then return n like 4 into n minus 1, factorial of n minus 1. Now it become 3. So now 3 checks again. Now here is become n into factorial like 3 into 3 minus 1, which will be factorial of 2. Now factorial of 2 here at 2 equals to 1, no, 2 equals to 0, no, so factorial of 2 into factorial of 2 minus 1, which is 1. So factorial of 1, now if 1 equals to 1, yes, so it will become 1, and now our factorial become 1, and then just it will save the value. Okay, so our factorial of like we n equals to 5 will become 5 into 4 into 3 into 1, as we know, and this is a factorial. So that's how we can calculate factorial using recursion. Okay, so recursion is an important topic, so that's how we use it, and that's how it help us. Okay, now there are some practice question. Okay, there are a lot today, but before that, or we just, okay, now start these. Let's see. So there are 15, and then there are 10 homework question for you guys. I'll just help you in practice question. You have to do homework question Okay, so just wait a second, then we'll start. Yeah, so let's start. Like, create a function to print your name. So what will we do? Wait, give, just wait a second, let me get some uh, define my name. It's a function name, and then we just like print. Wait, let me just comment first so that we can make it run easier. Okay, now it's good. My name. Now, and we will just print Ajay, as my name is Ajay. And now I'll just call this function my name. Now let's see the output. The output will be Ajay. Okay, so this is our first easy function. Now let's see another. Create a function to print your age. So define my age. So my age is 19, so print 9 print 19, and my age. So now to print Ajay 19. Okay, now let's comment this. We want to create a function to add two numbers, so let's go start there. Define add a comma b. Let's take our argument here, a comma b, and we'll just print a plus b. Now add, let's give some number like 7 8, 7 comma 8. So what will be the output? 15. Okay, wait. Oh yeah, now that's okay. So output will be 15. So now let's take subtraction for. So define add a comma b. A comma b, we'll just comment this out. Print a minus b, and then just sub. Let's take some number like 6 comma 9. Let me comment this, change this to sub. Okay, so what will be the output? -3, obviously. Okay, so now create a function to multiply two numbers. So define multi a comma b, and print a multiplied by b, and then just call it multi 4 into 5. So it will show us 20. Let's comment this also. Create a function to find a square of two numbers. Okay, define sq of sq and print number into number. We'll have to give a number so that we can take it. Then just print and call it sq5. So again 25, 45, 2025. Okay, now for cube, so define cube, cube, num print num into number into number. This is what a cube means, and then we will just cube 6. 216 will be answer, as we know. Now create a function to check whether a number is even or a number is odd. So let's do it, like define even or odd number. So how we'll check if a number is get divisible by 2 and give us a remainder 0, so it will be a even number, so it will just print a even there. Otherwise, else print it's a odd. Okay, now let's give it a number that even odd, a number 9 let's give, and just print this. So it's an odd number, as we all know. Okay, so this is a way we can create a function of this. Wait, let me give it here a space so that we can easily check and we will see. Find the largest of two numbers. Like we just have to take our input and then we have to find which one is the largest. Okay, for that define largest. Okay, num a comma b, because we have to choose. Okay, now if a is greater than b, print a is the largest number, else b, print b is the largest number. And now we will just give a number that largest, let's give some number 45 and 58. Let's give first, so output will be 58 is the largest number. Okay, now let's move to the another question, which will be a function to find the area of rectangle. So as we know that the area, how to find the area, length into breadth. Okay, so let's go. So define area of rectangle. So here we take length or width. Okay, width or breadth, they both are the same. So if, not if, we just have to print length into width. Okay, and then we just call it area of rectangle and give it 5 and 9. Wait, 5.9, not 5,9. So answer will be 45. Yeah, and this is the area of the rectangle also. Now create a function to create an average of 3 numbers. So how we get the average of 3 numbers? We just have to take this addition of the number and then divide divisible by 3. So we will use this here. Define avg a comma b comma c. Let's check these are the number. Then what we'll just print a plus b plus c and then divide them by 3. Okay, yeah, so yes, now it's okay, and we will just call avg and give us the number 8 comma 3 comma 2. So what will be the average? 13 by 3, which is 4.3333. Let's give some like 4, so this will become 14 and then 4.6666. Let's take the number like which can be divisible by 3, like some 8. Let's make it a 18. So let's take it 8 also. So now 6. Great. So 6 is the average, as we know. this is 18 also. So this is how we use. So this is basic question, just you have to see that how we create our function. Okay, like now default create a function using a default argument, as it says that we have to take a default argument. Okay, so let's take a default argument. For what kind of number we have to use? To create a simple calculator. Wow. Using keywords and default arguments. Okay, let's go there. So default arguments are the argument that we'll use, okay, automatically. So let's take define. Let's give my name. No, not name. Laptop. Okay, take a laptop. So define laptop. Okay, so name equals to let's take Victus. Okay, so now if we just print laptop, if we just print name and give it something like print nothing, and then we just print Mac or Apple. So what will be the output? Output of the first will be Victus. Wait, okay, sorry, it's a string, so we have to put here this. Now it will give us the apple because we give us the argument. But if we comment this out, now what will be the output? Oh wait, so this name equals to Victus and then print this, so output should be this. Wait, I use print here, not laptop. And laptop apple. Now you will see. Yeah, Victus and apple. Okay, now we will use some keywords. For keyword we actually use keywords, but let's give it here. So define, let's take a my name and like this. Okay, so define ID. So age equals to 19 comma name equals to Ajay, and we'll just print name comma age. Yeah, now we'll call ID age equals to 20 comma name equals to Abhi. So now it will print Abhi and age, otherwise ID. So look here, now Abhi 20 and Ajay 19. Okay, so it's an example of default and both. Now calculator. So for calculator, define calc. Let's see. You have to take two numbers. For that, what you want to do them. Now if, now let's make a screen first. Okay, no wait, if 1 a plus b, or we can wait, let's do one thing. डिफाइन करते हैं एडिशन a comma b, print a plus b. Okay, another define sub a comma b, print a minus b. Now define mile a comma b and print a multiplied by b. Now you are thinking what I am doing. I'll just tell you. Wait guys, define diff wait define diff a comma b and print a divisible by 2. So I just made a 4 different function. Now I'll just make a screen, and then what will I choose? I'll just print that out. Now see, print what. So firstly take the 2 number as an input, so a equals to int input and b equals to int input. So we take a 2 input. Now we want to select that what he wants. So if let's say if c equals to input, let's take one more input like add this also. So now we'll use if else. If c equals to add a comma b. Okay, elif c equals to sub a comma b. elif c equals to null, so null a comma b. Wait, else elif c equals to div null normal, it's div now, div a comma b. Okay, so now let's see here. Wait, let's make it more clean, guys. Print give 2 numbers, print choose add sub null or div. And now let's just see here. It just say me that I have to give 2 numbers. So let's take 2 number like 7 and 8. Now it says that choose what you want: addition, subtraction, multiplication, division. Okay, so now I have to say that I want to add them, so I just say add. So what wait, c equals to input after that. So if c equals to add, it should, okay, I forgot to print, guys. But wait, print a comma b is already, na? Yeah, so it should be, what's wrong here? Why shouldn't it just print? Let's see. Print this, then take output. Add. Wait. The add and these all should be a string, guys. We just made that mistake. Okay, everything is right otherwise. Yeah, now it will just correct like 2 numbers. So let's take 7 8. Now what we add, I want to add, so I will just say add, so 15. Now make it run again. Now 7 8. Now I just want to subtract, so -1. Okay, so it will just, we made a simple calculator using 4 function and elif else. Okay, now so let's move our homework question. These are the factorial using recursion. So these are some good questions. I guess I have to show you guys that how to do this. So let's see, the factorial we have already done using recursion. Okay, we can look at the Fibonacci. Okay, so what is a Fibonacci? So wait, let me write here. So Fibonacci is 0 1 1 2 3 5 7. So this is our Fibonacci series. So we want to get a Fibonacci. So let's do this. Define fib n. Now let's say if n is greater than or equals smaller than or equals to 1, then return n. Okay, otherwise return fib of n minus 1 plus fib of n minus 2, fib of n minus 2. Okay, and for I in range 10, we'll print 10 numbers of Fibonacci. Print fib I comma n equals to this. It will help to you print it in a different line. So let's do 0 1 1 2 3 5 8 5 3 8 13 21. Yeah, I wrote it wrong. Yep. So let's move to the logic now. So we just made a Fibonacci. Then we said if number n is equals to then 1 or smaller than 1, then just return n. Otherwise return Fibonacci of n minus 1 plus Fibonacci of n minus 2. So let's take Fibonacci is 4. 3. Let's take a 3. Okay. So now it will check. Is it smaller? So no. So it will come here and it will give us what? N minus 1, which is 2, plus n minus 2, which is 1. Okay, so here we got 3. Wait, it will just Fibonacci of n minus 1, like it will check here. Now it will take a Fibonacci of 2 and then move here and then a Fibonacci of 1. From here it will get a Fibonacci of 2 and a Fibonacci of 1. So we'll get a 2 1 and 1. So like this, it just use it 4 times and then it will give us the Fibonacci series. Okay, is there any? Yeah, these two are easy. I think you can do. Let's see a palindrome. That what is so firstly, what is palindrome? So palindrome is like the reverse of the number is also same number. Okay, like word madam. So madam, its reverse is also madam. So we will check if the function is palindrome or not. So let's define palin. Okay, text. If text is equals to text of minus 1, so what is it? It's I made a list and I just count it from the reverse. So if it is equals to its reverse, print palindrome. Else print not palindrome. Okay, so now let's check it. Give it a word madam. Oh wait, we have to call this. I forgot to call this function. Now palin madam. So madam is a palindrome, you know. Wait. Otherwise it will just give us error. Madam is a palindrome. Let's give another word which is not a let's take a B, which is not a palindrome. So this is how a palindrome works. Reverse number using function, we use the same logic here. Okay, sum of digit using function, we just split and then we will find minimum of 3 number. Calculate using function, we have already made this. Let's take this one easy, but let's do this. So define min a comma b comma c. These are the 3 numbers. So now let's take number. So if a is smaller than b and b is smaller than c, then print a is the smallest. If b is smaller than a, or we just wait, a and yeah, b is smaller than c and b should be smaller than a also, that then only it will. So print b is the smallest. Okay, else we check the two condition like a or b, and then we just say print c is the smallest. Now c is the smallest, otherwise either they both will be smallest or the third one will be smallest. So let's give a number. Wait, it just, oh wait guys. Okay, give this number 5 7. Wait, what happened? Give it a number 5. What's matter? 1. Okay, wait, we just didn't call this. So min, let's give number 5 8 2. So the answer should be 2 is the smallest, as we know. Now let's give another number like 10 5 6 10. So now smallest will be 5. So answer will be 5 is the smallest. Yeah. So this is how our function help us. So let's revise one more time, and then will be the end of the class. Okay. So firstly, what is a function? So function is a reusable code that perform a specific task. How we use it: define function name, and then it's the thing we want to write, like define great and then print welcome to Python. Now there are parameters in the Python. Parameters are the value that will pass in the function, and there are the argument that get a that the value which get passed into the function. These are the arguments. Now return statement then. So what is a return statement? So return statement basically help us to store a data. It's different from the pass, because in it's different from print, because print the value, but return just store the value, it didn't print the value. Okay, then we have a default argument. So default arguments are the arguments which automatically get passed even if no argument get passed in the function. These are the some argument, like here is guest. If none of the argument is passed, so it will take name equals to guest automatically. Okay, then we have keyword arguments. So keyword argument are the argument can be passed using parameter names. Okay, like age equals to 19 and name equals to Abhi. So these are the keyword arguments. Then we have a local and a global variable. So local variables are the variable that made inside a function and that can only be used inside the function, but the global variables are the variable that made outside the function and can be used either in the function or out of the function. They can be used in whole code. Then we have a global keyword. A global keyword is a way by which we can change the value of a global variable inside a function. Like we take x equals to 10 is a global variable, we take it outside the function, but we change its value x equals to 20 inside a function. But here's the here take a look, that is x equals to 20 is only valid in the function. In function the x become 20, but still in the whole code the x is 10 because we use it outside the code here. Then we have a lambda function. So what is lambda function? Lambda function is a anonymous one line function. So its syntax is like lambda argument and then expression. So this is a function name, then lambda, then argument, and then its expression. Okay, then we have a recursion, an important topic. Recursion is calling a function inside its own function. Like factorial is also a function, but we call it inside its own function. Here is it, factorial of n minus 1. So this is what does the mean of the recursion, and this is the whole functions and how we use it, and how we can use it inside the our Python. Okay, so these are the these are the important topics, and these are all the important of the function. So you can just give it a try to these all the remaining questions, like make a calculator, but we already done that. So just look at here, wait, let me show you the homework question. So these are that factorial using a recursion, we have done it early in the upper section, so you can just give a try. Then Fibonacci, then prime number using a function. Armstrong number, what is Armstrong number? Armstrong number is a number that its cube become the same number, like 153. Okay, then reverse a number, like take a 143 and then take a 341. Okay, like this. Sum of digits using function, like I'll give you the number that 219, and then you print the addition of this. So addition will be 12. So maximum of 3 number and minimum of 3 number. Maximum of 3 number we have already done, so I just done here a minimum of 3 number. Same logic we will use in maximum. Okay, then calculator we have already made, but you can still make it so that it will be helpful for you. Okay, so I think this is the end of the video. So thank you for being watching it till here, and in the next class we will move to the our further information, and we will end this session here. We will meet you in the next video. Have a nice day, guys. Bye.